Welcome to another episode. My name's Jose Najarro, and today I'm searching for companies with high cash and low debt. So let's get started. Before we begin, make sure to follow, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and I am starting to stream on Twitch and Mixer. You can find me there at Jose Najarro Stocks. Usually what I end up doing there is I start prepping for my episodes so you guys can come in, chat with me, talk about some of the companies maybe you guys want to take a look at, and just see what I'm prepping for the episode, and we can get a whole conversation started there. First, the information. All the information that was taken is coming from lazyfa.com. So like I said, today I am searching for a company. I'm searching for companies, not a company. I'm searching for companies that have a high amount of cash and that have low amount of debt. So I use this pretty cool website, LazyFA, which I'm able to put certain criterias on the thing. The first criteria is I wanted a market cap over $1 billion. And the reason I put $1 billion is I feel like companies over that $1 billion are usually already settled at some point in their careers. They're no longer a startup. But 1 billion still gives you those companies that still have high growth. The second thing, I wanted to find a current ratio greater than 2. To be so there's no easy way to be able to compare cash to debt at the moment. So the best thing for me was to have a current ratio greater than 2. So current ratio is current assets divided by current liabilities, and usually if cash is pretty high, you usually have a current assets that's pretty high that will usually give you a current ratio greater than 2. So that's why I set a current ratio greater than 2. The third criteria that I put is there were certain sectors I don't like looking at. There are certain sectors that I have no knowledge about. I am an electrical engineer, so technology ones are kind of my go-to. I'm not a big fan of energy, utilities, healthcare, REITs, or basic materials, right? I don't know much about those companies, so I took those off the list. All right, so the results, I ended up getting 369 results. I looked at about 150 of these companies. Some of them obviously did not have, I looked over 150 of them. And I was just looking again quick. I just went in and looked at their total debt and total cash. And just wanted to see which ones. So out of those 369s, I ended up only choosing 23. I think it's 23 or 24, maybe 22. I forgot. I'm too lazy to count. But it's either 22, 23, or 24. Definitely one of those numbers. And how did I choose these 23 companies? I only chose them because I picked the companies I knew, names I knew. So these sometimes might not be names that you know specifically, which might be a good thing. Some of these companies I know because either at my prior employment I've worked with these companies. So that's it. All right, so let's get started with the data. So the first company. So here I'm just gonna pretty much just go over the companies and just show you their current cash and total debt. And then what we're gonna do later on, if you guys want to post in the comments, pick one, 2, or 3 of these companies that you guys want me to do some form of research on, and then we can go from there, right? And the main reason I wanted to take a look at cash and debt, I didn't explain that earlier, but the reason is right now we're in a downturn, right? Right now, the economy is slowing down, but the companies that have plenty of cash and low debt are going to be the ones that are going to be able to survive this. And not only survive these are the companies that are going to go, and once they're settled in, they're going to go out there and they're going to buy companies to help increase their growth when this market picks back up. So that's why I wanted to look at these companies with high cash and low total debt. The number one company out here is Microsoft. Microsoft is killing the game right now, sitting at $134 billion of cash and cash equivalents, and sitting at a total debt of $76 billion. So this company can pay off all its total debt and still have more than enough money to buy probably 4 to 5 small companies, which I think is pretty impressive. So Microsoft is the first company. The second one is going to be Google. Google is not as great as Microsoft, nowhere is great, but is sitting at $18.5 billion of total cash and is sitting at $14.77 billion of total debt. So again, this company can pay off its total debt. And right now, right, I'm only looking at total debt and I'm only looking at cash. There's a lot more assets and a lot more liabilities one can take a look at. But total debt is going to be one of the few liabilities that is not going to change depending on workforce or anything. Total debt is going to stay that number until it's paid off. It's not a number that's going to disappear. And cash equivalents is going to give me a quick reason of how much can this company really stay alive. So after Google, we have Facebook. I actually did not think I was going to see Facebook on the list. I've actually saw it on some of my Twitter, people I follow on Twitter talking about Facebook. But Facebook has $19 billion of cash and has $10 billion of total debt. So it's sitting pretty good there, cash to cash. So first, right, Microsoft and Google are two of the companies I am buying a lot during this downturn. And now that I'm trying to diversify, I think I might be going onto Facebook a little more, just because I think I might have purchased too much Microsoft and Google right now. So continue to diversify down the list. Facebook is nice. Next, we're going to take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is one of the few semiconductors on this list. Even though in that whole criteria of 300 and whatever results I got, there were a lot of semiconductors, not many of them met the criteria I was looking at. Some of them did have a nice amount of cash, but they had very high debt. NVIDIA, which you guys know, NVIDIA, if you guys don't know, they do a lot of artificial intelligence, machine learning. Their main products right now are graphics cards, and they use their graphics cards for all types of things, gaming, artificial intelligence, like I mentioned, machine learning. So they're a pretty big semiconductor company. They have cash and cash equivalents of 10.9 billion and total debt of 2.5. So NVIDIA is sitting pretty good there. Another one I think I'm gonna start adding, just because I know these companies. These are companies I know already, Facebook and NVIDIA. I just did not know they were this readily equipped for this type of downturn. Next, we have EA Games. If you guys know esports is a big thing for me. I'm pretty bullish on esports. So I was pretty happy to see EA Games, and you guys are going to see Activision is also on the list. EA Games is sitting at $3.6 billion of cash and not even $1 billion of total debt. So if this company wants, it can probably go buy off small video game firms to help it grow its portfolio. Next, like I mentioned, Activision is sitting here at $5.8 billion of cash and $2.7 billion of total debt. Next, we have Micron Technology. If you guys don't know Micron Technology, it is another semiconductor company, and what they deal with is DRAM and SRAM type memories. Which are just volatile type memories that are used in all type of equipments, from computers to cell phones, televisions, tablets. Any type of mobile device is gonna have Micron's technologies, either Micron's technology or Samsung's. No, I think mainly Micron's technologies, memory cards. But again, this company right now is sitting at almost $7 billion of total cash and about $6.2 billion of total debt. So it's not as strong as the other ones. If I was looking at just one semiconductor company, I would at the moment pick NVIDIA over Micron Technology, but Micron is also here on the list. Next, we're going to talk about NATI, National Instruments. They make software companies. They make a lot of different devices for sensor readings. A lot of big companies use National Instruments products. And a big software that everyone might know, LabVIEW. A lot of data acquisition software is done through LabVIEW. Again, I've worked with them with my prior company, and it's pretty impressive. They have about $200 million in cash, and they have $54 million in total debt. So I think, this is a lot smaller than what the other companies have, but their cash to total debt ratio is extremely low. So National Instruments makes the list. Next, we have Garmin. So if you guys don't know Garmin, my dad uses it. He's a big biker. He has their watch, their application. So they work mainly with GPS type applications. So I don't use any of their products, but I know a lot of people do. And the whole GPS format, I think, can be a technology that can be used if another company wants to purchase it. So Garmin right now is sitting at $1 billion in cash and not even $50 million in total debt. So Garmin is actually a nice one. I think Garmin might be one I want to do more information on, just because I don't know much about this company and I really like this balance sheet right now on it. Next, we have Roku, the streaming device. Roku is sitting at about $520 million in cash and about $400 million in total debt. Again, not much of a big gap there, but at least it is positive, and it is a company that many people know, and it has taken a big hit. Unfortunately, total debt did jump a lot, it seemed, just from the previous quarter. If it was sitting at what it was sitting last quarter, this would be screaming a buy to me. I do have Roku and I might continue to buy, and it's good to see that the cash and cash equivalent is still higher than total debt. Next, we have Fizz. I've actually done, the only reason I know Fizz is there was a subscriber a few months ago that wanted me to take a look at this company, and they do a lot of soft drinks, and they do soft drinks of all types, healthy, sports drinks, vegetable drinks, all types of drinks. So they're like a small Pepsi, a small Coca-Cola. They have about $260 million of cash and about $50 million in total debt. So pretty good ratio there. A company that, hey, if you guys really want me to take a look at, I think this one might be another fun one to look at. Next, we have Shopify. Shopify right now is sitting at about $650 million of cash, and they have $150 million of total debt. So again, another good ratio there. Actually, I'm not too familiar of what Shopify does. So if you guys want me to take a look at Shopify, feel free to post on the comments. Next, we have IPGP. This is photonics. I forget what they're called. Something photonics. IPG Photonics. This is a laser company, semiconductor, in the semiconductor sector. My previous job used to work with them with their lasers. So cash and cash equivalents of $700 million and total debt of $50 million. So again, a huge ratio there. And they are, when I was working at my previous company, they were considered the leaders of this sector. I'm not 100% sure if they still are, but again, good to see that crazy thing. Another one I might take a look at just for fun. Next, we have Hasbro. Hasbro is the, what are they called? Action figures company. They do a lot of Black Series. A lot of collectors get them. Unfortunately, they did jump a lot in cash and total debt. And you can see, if you guys are new to this, if you see this cash jump up by a lot and you see this total debt jump by a lot, that means one thing: this company actually just took out a loan for it, and that's why we see that huge amount of cash come out with that huge amount of debt. So $4.6 billion of cash and $4.05 billion in total debt. Again, not a good ratio, but it's good to see positive. And this company has taken a huge hit compared to, it's over 50% down from what I recall. Next, we're going to take a look at First Solar. I'm not too familiar with the First Solar company. It is one that I see very popular, so I wanted to take a look at it. First Solar is sitting right now at about $1.7 billion of cash, and it's sitting at less than $500 million of total debt. Again, a very nice ratio we have there, and that's a pretty good hefty amount of cash. Next, we're gonna have Netgear. Netgear, I do know they sell a lot of like network products. I don't know much else about this company, but I know Netgear is a big brand when it comes to network products. So I want to see how they were doing. They have $190 million in cash and $25 million in total debt. So again, huge gap, what we like to see here and what the point of this video is about. So again, if you guys want me to take a look at Netgear, just feel free to post. Next, we have Triple D's. This is the, I think there are 3D printing service company. They have cash and cash equivalents of $130 million and total debt of $96 million. So again, a decent ratio there. Next, we have Skyworks. Skyworks is actually a company that I have no clue whatsoever what they do, but it has been very popular. It's one of those few companies. There's certain companies that I always see people talk about, and I just, at the moment, things are so overly priced that they do not. I don't go and looking at them. But now with things being so down, I want to. Skyworks made the list. Is sitting at about $930 million of cash and total debt of $150 million. So that's a very good ratio there. And Skyworks is one company that I know I want to do. And next we have 1-800-Flowers. So 1-800-Flowers is a company where you can call. You call online, or you can go online and you place orders for flowers. They actually have a nice amount of cash and cash equivalents of about $300 million, and they have total debt of $170 million. So that's all the companies I have for you guys. If you guys want to, right, the whole point of this video was to first find some big companies that have a lot of cash and very low total debt. Now what I want you guys to do, if you guys have want any of these companies for me to take a look at, feel free to post on the comments and let me know, hey Jose, I really want you to take a look at this one, and we can take a look at it together and see if, hey, maybe this might be a hidden gem. So there might be so yeah, there's some companies that probably some of you guys know about, some companies that maybe you guys never heard about. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Take care, have a good night, and see you next time.